Hi everyone, Flathead Terry here. What you're looking at here is an original photograph from the 1940s during World War II. This is the South African Army, which is called the Union Defense Forces. They're riding 1942 Harley Davidsons that they ordered directly from Harley Davidson for their military operations. I've restored other Harley Davidsons and other World War II motorcycles, so my quest was to see if there are any of these still in existence. So I began to search the globe. During my global search, I came across this particular Harley Davidson. Even though it was listed as a 1946 down in South Africa, I knew it was a 1942, so I contacted the seller. We negotiated a deal, and yes, I sent money to a stranger down in South Africa. The next step was to find a shipping company. So here's a photograph of the bike actually mounted to a pallet and ready for shipment. And then the long journey across the Atlantic, all the way from South Africa, all the way up to the port of New York, then Norfolk, and then up to Charleston. 24 days on the water. And here's an actual photograph on a webcam actually coming into the port. Once the bike cleared customs, I had to find a shipping company that would actually trailer it from Charleston to my house. Here's a short clip of the motorcycle coming off the trailer. I don't think this guy's ever been on a motorcycle before, so I just laughed. Finally, 6 months later, it finally arrived in my garage. I was very happy to finally receive it. Then began the disassembly process. Once I had it all disassembled, I took the frame, took all the paint off, primed it, and painted it back to its original lusterless olive drab. Here's a before and after picture of the gas tanks. Several layers of paint. I think I counted 5, maybe 6 different layers of paint that I had to strip off, get it down to bare metal, prime, and then paint it back to its original olive drab color. And then also you'll notice some dents up there. Those it might be battle scars. I wasn't sure, so I left them all in. I didn't use any filler on the gas tanks at all. Here's a picture of the front forks, a before and after picture. Basically the same process again. Strip all the paint, get it down to bare metal, prime, and then paint back to olive drab. Here's some photographs of the motor I had rebuilt by Mikey Leichner down at Knucklehead Motor Works. He did just a fabulous job. I just turned them all right back to original condition. Just wonderful work. Now the process of reassembly. As you can see here, I have the wheels completed, the front fork reassembled, handlebars are back on, along with the stands that support the front wheels when you change a tire. Note on the front fork that that front center stand is actually very handy when you have to replace the tire or you have some kind of issue with the braking system. Here in this photograph you can see I continue to reassemble it. Got the rear fender on along with the tail light. I have the muffler and exhaust system attached, the oil tank along with the headlight. Yeah, here's a photograph of continued progress in reassembly. You can see the front fender is on along with the horn. Let's see, the footboards are on along with the front crash bar and the toolbox. This photograph shows my newly upholstered seat. I had the original seat pan and then I had it reupholstered with the correct leather all back to its original configuration. I've also added the speedometer and the dash assembly along with the front brake handle. Here's a photo of the restored gearbox that Mikey Leichner down at Knucklehead Motor Works restored for me. Just did a fabulous job. It looks like brand new and it shifts perfectly. Here's an original photograph showing a soldier from the Corps of Signals Regiment on one of the Harley Davidsons and with an insignia on the side of the gas tank. So what I wanted to do was paint mine in that same exact paint scheme. Here's a photograph showing the finished paint scheme that I applied to the front fender and to the gas tank. The SACS stands for South African Corps of Signals Regiment 3. This is an actual photograph of the motorcycle when it left the factory at Harley Davidson, which was great to have as I could match up every single nut and bolt and how the whole entire motorcycle was configured. And after a 14-month restoration, here it is, all back to its original configuration. I then rode it down to the Harley Davidson Museum for one of their motorcycle shows, and I won first place. It's great having the restored Harley Davidson at shows, but I have just as much fun riding it. Here's some photographs of me riding it throughout the countryside with other fellow enthusiasts that admire old motorcycles.